So before these Euclid officers, I was already doing my studying. That's why I told the officer what I would give him. So I told this officer, but I'm not even gonna go off what I told the officer. Identifying information varies, but typically includes name, address, and an explanation of the person's actions. In some cases, it also includes the person's intended destination, the person's date of birth, Indiana and Ohio, or a written identification if available, Colorado. Ohio does not require the person's intended destination. Ohio requires only name, address, or date of birth. Date of birth is not required if the age of the person is an element to the crime, such as underage drinking, curfew violation, that the person is reasonably suspected. We're going to read this one more time. I said I'll give you my name, my number, and my address, sir. Ohio requires only name, address, or date of birth. Date of birth is not required if the age of the person is an element to the crime, such as underage drinking, curfew violations, etc. Sir, so them was ways that the officer could identify me. But it was crazy. It was crazy, huh? But you're only required to give your name and your address. This don't say that I'm required to give you no ID, sir. It don't say that. Nowhere on here do it say Ohio requires that you, from the driver's seat or from the passenger seat, from the traveling companion seat, that you even give somebody a license or even give somebody an ID card. It's saying by me telling you my name and my number or my address that I was in the right, sir. That's why I was upset. And if you hear me in the back of that car, sir, go listen to the back of that car, but we don't even got the audio. Because I told you this stuff, sir. I told you. But it's a good thing that they caught me in the back of that car saying I was nothing but polite to you, sir. You was wrong, sir. Point blank, period, man. The officer was wrong, man. But he don't got to go to court and try to say why he was wrong or why he was right. He get to say why he was right. I got to say why he was wrong. But he already know he was wrong. So now we got to sit here and I got to be subject to go through all this reading. Now just to say, oh yeah, the officer didn't ask me for this. He didn't ask me for that. Officer, in your report, you already made it where you don't say nothing in your report, officer. If you go lie, at least write the lie out all the way. Fine. He asked the driver, which wasn't even really a driver, because driver means one employed. And if that lady was employed while you was doing that to her passengers, that's messed up, sir. That is real messed up. Because you don't do that to taxi cabs. You don't go when they driving, when they being drivers, sir, ones that is employed. You don't do that to them. You don't go stop in RTA buses or late tram buses talking about let me identify everybody on this bus. You don't do that to them, sir. So why was you doing it that night to me, man? Shit was crazy, man. But it don't say nowhere on here that I'm required to give you an identification card, sir. It don't say I'm looking for it, sir. It say that I'm only required to give you a name, Ohio. That's a state, sir, not the city of Euclid, sir. The state, sir. It says that I'm only required to give you a name and an address. And only if I'm underage am I to give you a date of birth, or I could have gave you a name and a date of birth. Well, I tried to give you 3 things while I was inside the car, sir, before the man with the camera came, sir. Crazy. And it says requires a person's true full name. It's cool.